Obviously, I've only played a few games, but there's some serious talent here, both from the overseas perspective, but also it's been really cool to see some of the domestic and local talent here too, which has been, some of the players have been really impressive. But I guess from our perspective, we've topped the table, made it to a second final in the last 2 years. So I mean, we couldn't really ask for more.
So Chappie, this is the first time for you we are having this conversation. We try to do it more often.
Thanks for me. It's great to be here. Yeah. Hopefully we can have a good chat.
Shuru kare?
Yeah, chal. Let's go.
Let's start with the fun part, Chappie. We've had a lot of Hindi conversations, broken conversations, but a lot of Hindi conversations. Yeah. Where does this come from?
When I was a bit younger, I played with the Hong Kong national team, and a lot of the guys there are from South Asia, and so a lot of the time they'd speak in their native tongue, and so over time I would just pick up on a few different phrases, mostly cricket stuff, but a few bad words in there as well. But we've obviously spent a lot of time in the subcontinent as well with New Zealand, so yeah, it's always nice to learn another language.
Okay, and have you used some of those unpleasant words or phrases in a game?
No, I wouldn't do that. But sometimes you can lip read other people.
So it's always good to know.
Yeah, it's good to know. It's good to know what's happening, and also if a wicketkeeper is telling a bowler to bowl something as well, then you can pick up on that, and then it gives you they just assume that you can't understand, which is quite cool.
Yeah, but now everyone's watching.
Yeah. Yeah, well, my secret's gone now.
Oh. Anyway, so, Chappie, so where did that journey take you? You played for Hong Kong, and when did you move to New Zealand?
Yeah, so both my parents were working in Hong Kong at the time. So, I was born there, learnt my cricket there at a young age, and my dad, who's from New Zealand, always had plans for the family to move back. And so at 12 years young, he sent me to boarding school in New Zealand, and I've been there ever since. Did all my secondary schooling there, university there, and live in Auckland with my family, wife and 2 kids now, which is pretty cool.
A couple of things I want to talk about. One is obviously about your family, but let's talk about cricket first. How is it playing cricket in New Zealand while you're growing up? Like, what are the grades you go through? Like we play a district competition, state competition, several leagues, then obviously Ranji in India. Mm-hmm. How does it go in New Zealand?
Yeah, I think when you're younger in New Zealand and you're going through school cricket is I guess the pinnacle, and it's where you learn the most. You also have club cricket on the side, but I sort of played mainly school cricket. Played against the likes of Lockie, Glenn, who we're playing alongside with today, but both of them I played a lot against in school cricket. And so you progress through school cricket, and they have like local state teams. So Auckland, where we're from, was under 17s, under 19s, and then eventually they have Auckland A, which is like a second 11, which gets picked from, I guess, your rising stars from, if there's someone really good in the school system, or from club cricket. Lockie and I play for the same club back home. Shout out to Parnell Cricket Club. It's an awesome club. And so I played club cricket, got picked in the Auckland A team, and then I guess if you put some performances up for the second 11, then they look at you for selection for the full Auckland first class team. So that's the journey.
Wow, that's interesting. And any early memories of GP in particular?
Yes, lots of memories of Glenn. So, you think he's pretty fast now, but he was pretty quick back then. But one of the things he didn't understand back then was his partners were not as fast as he was. So he actually used to get run out a lot because he'd be coming back for a run, but his partner hadn't even reached the crease at the other end yet. GP, he's awesome. We've played a lot of cricket together. Yeah, it's been cool to see him grow, and he's established himself as one of the leading players in the world, which has been pretty amazing.
And how about Lockie?
Lockie, one of the memories that sticks to mind. So Lockie's a little bit older than me, so I was playing as a young, I think I would have been year 10, and Lockie was a senior at school. And back then he was also bowling pretty quick. And I remember facing him and hitting a ball, and it bounced up off the boundary rope and it hit a car. And unfortunately it was Lockie's car. And so the next ball wasn't very full. It was at my head, and he was pretty fired up. So, but yeah, the same. Lockie and I have played a lot of club cricket together as well, and he's established himself as one of the premier fast bowlers of the world. So, yeah, it's been pretty cool to be alongside these guys.
Right. How sweet it is, right? Right. You wouldn't have imagined that all of you will be together in the same team playing cricket in America.
Yeah, I know. If you said that to me at the start of my career, I probably would have said I wouldn't have believed you. So yeah, no, it's pretty special to be here.
And how did your family feel being here? Because we had a great time along with them. The kids are great. And how was their experience being here?
Yeah, well, we haven't actually spent much time in the US. It's not a place that I guess we travel much to for international cricket. So, as soon as we had the chance to come, it was a no-brainer to bring the family along. And I've got 2 young girls, and my wife. They were here for just over a month, and they loved every little bit of it. Rosa, our oldest daughter, who's nearly 2 now, is running around and made lots of friends in the Washington family. And I guess one thing that really sort of stood out was the hospitality here and the way that the Washington Freedom family have looked after the players' families as well. Sanjay has been second to none in being such a gracious host and looking after the families, and that goes for all the staff here. It's been incredible, and we've made some amazing friends, and certainly Rosa has too. Running around with all the other kids here too. Yeah.
I remember whenever I see Rosa, the first thing she says is "Go, Daddy."
Yeah. Yeah, she loves the flags. She loves waving. I'm not sure she really knows what's going on at the games, but she loves it anyway.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have her back next year and spend more time and get to know them as well, right? Okay, moving on to this season now. How's cricket been for you? Have you enjoyed your cricket? Obviously you have, but just want to hear it from you.
With the MLC season? Yeah, it's been great. Obviously, I've only played a few games, but, there's some serious talent here, both, from the overseas perspective, but also it's been really cool to see some of the domestic and local talent here too, which has been, some of the players have been really impressive. But I guess from our perspective, we've topped the table, made it to a second final, in the last 2 years. So, we couldn't really ask for more. Some of the players that have had amazing performances through the tournament. Just look at Mitch Owen, for example, who's been incredible with bat, ball, and in the field. But then I guess you look at the team, and there's been performances spread throughout the squad. So, a team is only good as the strength of the squad. And, we've used a number of different players this tournament, and it's been really cool to see that when guys have come in and had their opportunity, they've taken them with both hands, which has been incredible.
Yeah, that's been a standout factor for our team. Everyone has chipped in, and even the kind of coaches we have, there are so many contributions going off the field as well, which usually don't get recognized that well. How's been your experience working with someone like Ricky Ponting, James Hopes, Brad Street, Michael Klinger?
First time working with all these coaches, and they're coaches that I guess you've come across or you've seen on TV. You've either watched them in their playing days, and it's been pretty cool to get stuck in and work with them one-on-one. Sometimes someone like Ricky is not afraid to really get in the trenches with you and help you if you're willing to ask for some advice. And it's been, I guess, what's really stood out to me is the detail that they've gone through, particularly from our bowling point of view, with the amount of planning that's gone in. And I think that's made a huge difference this year. You can see that they're really putting some work in behind the scenes, something that people don't necessarily see when the performance is on TV. But there's been a lot of hours there behind the scenes with planning and bowling plans, which has certainly contributed to our success.
True, and the challenges this season have been quite different, right? I mean, the word which sticks out is adversity. A lot of injuries, people being unwell. Through it all, we have made it to the final again.
There's been, a gastro bug around the team. Different guys have come in and out due to injury. Someone like Lockie's been here trying to get fit, and now he's fit and raring to go, which is great to see. It's just been one of those things where it's really tested the resilience of the squad, and it's really been cool to see guys come through that. I remember Mitch Owen playing, Glenn Maxwell as well, playing on days where they've been really unwell during the day, but have managed to pull up the energy to play and then not only play but put amazing performances together. So that certainly builds confidence in a squad when you're probably not at your best but are still able to put together a really amazing performance.
I think that's the strength of the team coming together, right?
Definitely. It builds confidence. When you're using the whole squad and they're all together, even though when you're not feeling your best, if you're able to push out a winning performance, you really take that with you.
One thing I'm quite keen to know from your perspective is, how has Glenn been as a captain?
Yeah, so Maxi, I've played a bit against him, and this is the first time I've been in a changing room with him. Obviously his talent speaks for itself, but then being a captain is a different kettle of fish, and the way that he's managed things, and I think it's quite obvious to see like the relationship that Maxi and Punter have, Ricky Ponting, and they're obviously very close, and I think that's been a huge part of our success, to see those two really collaborating and working together, and two great tactical brains of the game coming together, and Maxi's been awesome, but also I guess don't underestimate the contributions from the other senior players, guys like Rutchin, Andre Skaus, Mitchie Owen at times, that have contributed from a leadership perspective as well.
Yeah.
Maxi's been awesome, but I think the whole squad have really contributed in that perspective.
How much have you got to know players like Saurabh Netravalkar? Like, have you spent enough time with him yet?
Yeah, Saurabh's been great. He's pretty quiet. Interesting to hear like some of the stories of guys and their cricketing journeys. Obviously, he played for India 19s a few years ago now, and has come here, works as an engineer. That's his full-time job, and still manages to play professional cricket, which is amazing. You sort of think in this day and age where to compete at this level, you really have to invest a lot of time, and for someone like Saurabh to also be working a full-time job, it's a credit to him.
Yeah, he's quite disciplined, right from his yoga, meditation, finding time for work. I think he's been balancing it quite well.
Definitely.
So much to learn.
Definitely. And he's got a young family as well, so yeah it's been pretty full on for him.
What other highlights do you remember from the season now? This is not cricket. Anything else? Like, we've been to some nice places like San Francisco, we've been to Florida. What have you enjoyed more?
I guess this is the first time I've really spent more than, just a couple of days in the US. So, the three places that we've been have all been very different. So, from San Francisco to Dallas and then to Florida, there's quite a good variety there. So I feel like we've been able to experience quite a lot that the US has to offer. Obviously, there's a lot more than just those three places, but in the short time we've had here, it's been amazing to see the culture, the food, the variety of food, the climate's obviously different in different places. It's been nice to have the warm weather. The beach, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, we stayed on the beachfront, which is amazing. Here for July the 4th, everyone was in a really good mood. The hospitality here has been amazing. I guess just the variety of places, having the family here to share those experiences with, has made a big difference too.
True, and a lot of work goes behind it, because it comes right from Sanjay, Ricky Ponting, our CEO Dheeraj Malhotra, that the most efforts need to go in making sure that everyone stays happy. The players are happy, their families are happy, they feel welcomed out here. And overall, the moment we step in, even we feel like we are part of your family. The way we hang out, like we go on the team bus, the family bus, we take them to the ground. It's like a school picnic. Everyone's going together and just having a good time. So I think all these things have come together really well for us.
Yeah. I think that's one of the challenges of franchise cricket, where you have a month, and it's a challenge for the management, the owners and the management to build a culture, and that's something that I heard a little bit about this franchise through Lockie, who's here last year, and he said that the way that they look after their players is up there with the best in terms of franchise cricket. And this year to experience it, and it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of effort, but we've really felt welcomed and we've really enjoyed our time. The hospitality has been second to none. Sanjay and the crew have been awesome, and very genuine, very welcoming, and it makes a huge difference because if you look after your players off the field and with their families, it really helps them to put their best foot forward when they're playing for a franchise.
A huge credit also goes to our players and their families, right? It really hasn't taken time. Like even with you, day one, and it feels like you've been here forever. So it's a two-way effort, right? It's not just everyone trying here, but the players and their families need to embrace it too, and kind of take a couple of steps in the direction of just being together with everyone. And that's what I feel has been one of the best things. At least I take that back. I've met people, I think, who will stay with me for my life.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an awesome journey, and I think the thing that we felt as players, and I know the family felt it, is the franchise has been really genuine in the way that they want to look after you, and the motivations have been to support the players as best as they can, to make them feel as comfortable as they can, and so that they can put their best foot forward when it comes to being on the field. And that regardless of results, it's been pretty obvious that the franchise and the owners and the staff really want the players to have the best experience, and that's been really apparent this trip, and the family have really felt that, and that makes a huge difference. If you have a positive experience, the word spread, and people are want to come to a franchise like Washington because they've heard the way that they look after their players. So it's been pretty cool. There's been some trust built, and it allows players to be themselves as well. So I've really enjoyed it.
And wait until we have a stadium of our own. We go and play in our city. It will just get better.
Yeah, one day hopefully we can play in front of the Washington fans and the Freedom family.
Lovely. Last couple of things. One, obviously having so many New Zealanders in this team and playing for a franchise and not for your country, like how different does it feel, and how much are you enjoying it?
I mean, it's really nice to have familiar faces in the changing room. There's a level of trust that you have already. Each other, inside and out. About your game. About what you like to do on days off and all that sort of stuff. And it's been pretty cool to be here with guys. And then we might go back to playing for New Zealand, and it might have a slightly different feel to it. But it makes a big difference in a tournament like this. The Kiwis and Aussies, obviously, we do battle on the field, but to be in the same changing room as like a Jack Edwards, a Mitch Owen, Glenn Maxwell, it's pretty cool to get to know guys behind the scenes as well. And these are friendships that will last a lifetime.
Lovely. And just last couple of things. I just want to understand where are you at with your cricket right now, and how do you approach the bad days? Like, is there any process you have? Someone likes to do meditation, someone will kind of do something else, listen to music or play golf. How do you navigate through the tough days in your life?
Well, I guess I'm on the other side of 30 now, so I've been around a little bit. So to be honest, I'm pretty relaxed in the way I approach games. As long as I'm prepared and from a physical and mental standpoint, I'm in a good space. Generally I'm pretty at peace with going into a game and just trusting my skills. Mindfulness is something that that I do behind the scenes that I really enjoy. Just helps keep things nice and calm. We're in a world where there's so many distractions. It's nice to have a place behind the scenes where you can just take a minute to be present with what's in front of you, because that's, I guess, ultimately it's really important when it comes to performance. Just being present with every ball is really important. Looking after your body is up there with something that I like to prioritise. Just obviously the amount of cricket we play these days. The volume of cricket, the frequency of the games, sometimes they're pretty short turnarounds. So, looking after your body is pretty important. So, they're probably the two key things. I'm pretty happy with my game plan and where my game's at. Obviously trying to improve every day. I think if you stay stagnant, you fall behind pretty quickly because the game is moving on at a pretty rapid pace. So, just trying to keep up with the young guys, really.
And how do you approach a match day? Like, is there a set routine? You do certain things in a certain way, or it's just going about your day, how it comes?
Yeah, I guess if it's a night game, I try and get a little bit of a sleep in at some point, just to make sure that you're nice and fresh when the game comes around. But then, just making sure, I guess from a physical standpoint, your body's feeling good. From a mental standpoint, you've had a pretty peaceful day. I probably don't do too much on a match day. Obviously your nutrition is pretty important, making sure you get the right fuel in. A coffee is always, nice to have. Bring my own coffee with me because you can't get the coffee that you want necessarily everywhere, but America's been great for coffee.
Lovely. And just to end it, want to understand how do you see cricket in USA growing, and what has been your takeaway until now?
There's some real passion for cricket in this country. You can see that there's a fan base. To be honest, I wasn't too sure what to expect. But the fans here have been awesome. They've been passionate. They've turned up to games. And I guess what's been really cool to see is some of the local talent too. We've got guys in our squad that are born and raised in America that are really good cricketers, and USA cricket is certainly going to be on the rise in the next few years. And for those young players to be rubbing shoulders with some of the best in the world. They're pretty fortunate, and hopefully that they can really benefit from these experiences. I guess you saw this time last year at the T20 World Cup, the US progressed through to the second round. So, there's some talent there. There's a bright future for this country when it comes to cricket.
Amazing. Bright future for cricket would also benefit MLC. And MLC is already doing a lot for cricket, I see, because year on year, the players talk about it, the amount of progress they have made. And like you said, the last World Cup was one of those examples that they're up there now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, tournaments like this where you attract some of the best cricketing talent in the world, you can only improve from that if you're rubbing shoulders with those players, competing against them. You get a perspective on the standard that is at the top of the game. Because I guess if you play against the best, you'll understand what it takes. And to be honest, like a lot of the time, it's just about doing your skills a little bit better for a little bit longer. And once you get a taste of that, then you can go away and really work hard at your game, and then come back the next year. So like I said, there's a bright future.
Lovely. And that's all I had for today. The conversation can go on. There's so much I want to know about you. But I think I'll leave my questions off camera and chat with you over a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sumit. It's been
Thank
awesome.
you so much.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.